Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered. Geez, another week's gone by. We're going to dive right in because we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start on Facebook. Facebook is an important part of this show. That's how, that's how we have a two-way thing. Otherwise, it's just you watching me. Go on Facebook, Unfiltered with TV's Rick Blood Facebook page. Comment on the episodes that you watch. Let me know what you're thinking. Mark does. Mark's got some comments from episode 227 when I was talking about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Mark says the Constitution does not give you rights, which is what I said. The Constitution has nothing to do with us. The founders considered your rights to be God-given or natural rights. You are born with all your rights. The Constitution does, however, protect your rights by, number one, limiting the powers of government by granting to it only those specific powers that are listed in the Constitution. This has not proven to be effective of late. Yeah, because they keep trying to change the Constitution. And by number two, enumerating certain specific rights which you retain. These rights are listed in the Bill of Rights. You have no constitutional rights except those written in the Bill of Rights. Well said, Mark, and that's basically the point I was trying to make, is the Constitution doesn't tell us what rights we have. It tells the government its limits as to how far it can go in controlling us. And again, yeah, it doesn't really work. Because again, once you have power, you have power. Plain and simple. And along the lines, in the same episode, I was talking about the fact that we try and teach our kids that, everybody's equal. And then I mentioned, except for the fact that we have the Olympics every 4 years to show who the best is. Mark says maybe everyone in the Olympics should just get a participation medal. Yes, Mark, yes. Just like in schools and Little League. He also says that only GMO corn has an even number of kernels. I believe the food fact, Mark, was in planting corn, rows of corn are always even numbers. Or there are even numbers in each row or something. I still haven't found a farmer. Next time I go to Maine and see the humble farmer, I will definitely ask him about the corn. Although he's more of a rhubarb guy. But, well, what can you do? Anyway, so those were some comments. The plaintiff commented on episode 226. It was the episode where I showed the pictures and talked about the schooner trips that I had taken. She thought that was a great episode. And I'm glad that you folks are enjoying them. But for God's sakes, hit that share button on Facebook. Let other people see it, And if you watch on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. And, boost up my subscribers. That's what I'm trying to do. I was hoping you guys would maybe make that Twix rant viral, but, I'm still waiting. All right. So that's it for Facebook this week. We're going to jump into some other crazy, crazy stuff because I'm not sure if you're aware of my feelings about professional sports. Professional sports, again, are something for the well-off to enjoy. Because you can't get a ticket to any game, and I'm going to start with football because football is what's been in the news. And with football season starting to start. Football in preseason getting ready to kick off into the regular season. Football is one of those games. You can't go, we're Patriots fans here in New England. You can't go to Gillette Stadium and see a damn football game for under $200 for a couple of people. By the time you add in parking and something to eat and, of course, a beer at the stadium, if that's what you're into, you're talking a buttload of money. to go and see guys play a game. And now this week, the big controversy is Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback or the wannabe quarterback for the, because I hear he's on the verge of possibly being cut. I guess he's been the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. And this is Dave Richards. This is your team, buddy. This is your team's illustrious leader. Refused to stand for the national anthem. Now, I mean, I've often wondered stuff like that when during my job at Cheshire TV, I've been out on a job working a camera, and they play the national anthem. I mean, if you're working, I mean, should I stop operating my camera and stand at attention and put my hand over my heart? I guess veterans don't salute unless you're wearing a uniform. I believe that's the cue that you're supposed to salute is if you're in a uniform. I'm not sure about that though. I think saluting is much more patriotic than putting your hand over your heart. That's just from a Navy man's point of view. Anyway, he says, this quarterback Kaepernick says that he didn't stand because it was a protest against the systemic racism in this country. Which to me is hogwash. This is a guy who I believe is biracial. He's a 1%er, folks. This guy makes like $19 million a year. And he's in the NFL, National Football League, which has basically been making black people rich for a long time. Remember, this is the same NFL that gave us O.J. Simpson and what's his name, Ray Price, last year or the year before, beating up his wife in the elevator, kicking the crap out of her. When the national anthem is played, if you are an American, you stand up and show respect. Plain and simple. That's what you do. Whether you agree or not. That's what you do. I hope this stirs some of you up. I mean, some of you lefties who don't think that the flag is worth crap anyway, well then maybe what you need to do is just move the hell out of our country. Plain and simple. You want to live in a society like Denmark or the Netherlands? Go ahead. Move over there. By all means. That's all I'm saying. You live in a country, be proud of your country. Plain and simple. If you're not going to be proud, I mean, let's start with the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers. Jerry Rice, millionaire, black man. Where the hell was the racism there? Warren Moon, the quarterback for used to be the quarterback for the Vikings. I'm not sure who he plays for now. Because again, I've stopped following football because the price, you can't even afford to go to a damn game. And it's sickening that these guys make so much damn money. They play 18 weeks a year. Their job is less than half of a damn year. And they make millions. The good ones make millions. Black, white, Hawaiian, or although I don't think you see very many Orientals in in football, but possibly. If they're good, they make money. There's no racism there. It's big, strong, dumb guys making $1 million for playing a damn game. That in the grand scheme of things means nothing. Means nothing. Absolutely nothing. At the end of any football season, has anybody ever gone, oh, geez, now the football season's over, the economy is so much better? No. Maybe if they start dropping prices to get into these damn places so that normal people could enjoy the sport. And you know, what's even more enjoyable is go to your local high school football game. Show some spirit there. For one thing, it's probably under $5 to get into a high school football game. The crowds are probably friendlier. The crowds are probably a lot less drunk. And the players aren't arrogant asses, like most of the players in NFL football right now. Tom Brady. How much money did Tom Brady cost the taxpayers with his damn dragging out a 4-game suspension? Oh, poor baby. Sit on the bench, you jerk. Again, these are supposed to be role models for children. And what do? Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, I heard, wanted to do a tribute to the police officers that were shot in Dallas. They wanted to put a little sticker on their helmet as a tribute to the fallen police officers. And the NFL said no. You can't do that. But this Colin Kaepernick can sit down during the national anthem, raise a big stink, and throw his little thing out there. It's not right. And again, I'll tell you this. As long as there is one millionaire black guy or girl in this country, I refuse to believe in widespread racism. There's plenty of opportunity for black people, as many as there are for white people. It's just you have to be ambitious enough to go after it. The trouble comes when people go, oh, you know, working 40 hours or 50 hours a week, that's too hard to make $500, $600. I'm going to sell drugs. I can make $5,000 in a day. People turn to crime because crime pays better. It's not my fault. It's the companies, it's corporations, and it's the government's fault that jobs, real honest jobs, don't pay better than crime. Blame everything else on everybody else. You scream because black neighborhoods are filled with drug dealers. You scream because white cops are coming into our black neighborhoods arresting our drug dealers. That's the kind of thinking that goes on. You want to crack down on crime. So we crack down on crime. All of a sudden you're worried we got too many people in jail. Granted, I think we've got too many people in jail, yes. We've got too many people in jail for the wrong things. We throw people in jail for easy small stuff. Because, those cases are easy. Generally, those people can't afford great lawyers. Deals are made. Somebody's in prison. And who makes money there? Privatized prisons. Let me jump to the immigration stuff, because, again, I am not anti-immigration. I am anti-illegal immigration. And you know what happens to illegal immigrants now who get arrested after crossing the border? They go to a court. And I heard a thing on NPR over the weekend. They don't even try these people individually. There's a room, there are so many of them that they arrest. They'll put 20, 30 people in a courtroom and it'll all be one, you all plead guilty. They go around the room and they ask each person, and then they sentence each person separately. And what they do is they put them in jail. In an American jail. So many days for the first offense. And if you come over a second time, and after you get done in jail, they deport you back to Mexico. And then if you come back a second time and you get arrested, then the jail time's a little more. And if you've come across 4 or 5 times, you're up to you're going to spend 5 years in jail, in an American jail, being supported by the American taxpayers, fed 3 meals a day, a nice warm place to sleep, all courtesy of the USA, and then we're going to send you back to your country. And that's crap. You don't put people in a damn jail for even one day. You arrest them, they came over the border illegally, boom, send them back. You put them on a bus the same day. And boom, bus them back. Don't spend 5 years supporting them, hoping that, 5 years in jail might just teach them not to cross the border again. Again, you know what would teach people not to cross our border is if we had people along the border and anybody that crossed the border got shot. The same as you would if you had no trespassing land and people stepped on your land, you'd blast them. And it's fairly legal. Well, you could claim, hey, no trespassing. The sign says trespassers. Trespassers get prosecuted, but prosecution is not enough. Because again, to these immigrants that are coming across, it's like a lottery. They've got a 1 in 5 chance of making it or whatever. And if they win, yay, they win. And if they don't, they spend some time in jail and they get sent back and they try again. But what the hell do they have to lose? If they get caught, they're going to spend time in a nice jail. Getting fed 3 meals a day, which might be more than they're eating in Mexico or wherever they come from. We have legal avenues of coming to this country and becoming a citizen in this country. We have for 100 years or more. I don't know. It's just, again, it's the media and the politicians trying to feed us stuff that it just isn't true. You hear all the lefties talking about, immigration is not the root of our problems. It's not people coming in and taking our jobs. That's not all of it, but that's some of it. The main point is these people just come in with no paperwork, and it is immigration. Immigration is taxing our resources. illegal immigration, taxing our resources. We have to be able to control the number of our people in our country, because the resources in our country will only support so many people. It's as simple as that. And meanwhile, we throw a fit when Russia walks into another country and pays no attention to borders or whatever. But yet, what are we saying? We're saying, oh, we don't want to, we can't have a border. We don't want borders. But again, where's the sense? There's no country in the world that you can just slide across the border unknown and go about your day. No country in the world. That's why we have passports. You take a trip around the world, your passport gets stamped every country you go in. And those countries keep track of who comes and who goes. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. And this whole, the media is feeding you the whole Donald Trump flip-flopping on immigration. No, he's not. Donald Trump said exactly the same thing from the beginning of his campaign. He wants to, he says build a wall. Well, build a wall is that phrase right there could be taken so many different ways. The media pushes it like it's literal. Maybe it's not literal. Maybe it's figurative. We're going to build a wall. Maybe he just means we're going to start enforcing the border policies. We can build a wall of people along the border to make sure nobody comes across. Like the whole Red Rover. Bring all the military back from all these countries overseas. We don't like Russia because they're trying to put military force in countries all around it. But we've got military bases all over the world. Again, we've got bases in Germany, we've got bases in Turkey, we've got bases here and there and everywhere. There's probably not a country in the world that we don't have a military base in. Except maybe Russia and China. But boy, if we could, we would. Again, hypocritical thinking. And it's dumb. It's just dumb. What else was I going to say? I was talking, Donald Trump stuff. Yeah. Now they're saying, he's flip-flopping because he's saying, maybe we can't deport 11 million all at one time. If there is 11 million. I'm not even sure that we know exactly how many illegal immigrants are in this country. The number that keeps getting thrown around is 11 million, but they've said it could be as low as 5, it could be as high as 20. We don't know because nobody counted them when they were coming in. So, and they don't show up in the census, apparently. But here's what I think Donald Trump is talking about. And apparently he's going to lay out his immigration policy this week, from what I've heard. I believe he's talking about criminal illegal immigrants. As soon as they get arrested, boom, out they go immediately. Other people that we're going to have to find will get deported as we find them, I imagine. And he keeps saying that everybody keeps throwing around the word amnesty. and that, oh, geez, Donald Trump's finally bringing people around to see that we're going to give amnesty. He's not going to give people amnesty. I believe the process he's talking about is if you want to become a citizen of this country and you're already here, you must leave and then come back in. Apply to come back in. Anybody with feet on this soil as it is wouldn't count. You have to leave, go back to your own country, come in legally. Hey, we'll welcome you with open arms and a fruit basket. All right? Otherwise, no. All right, enough of that stupid stuff. Let's get into some more fun food facts, because I got just one more page of fun food facts before we go on next week to some other stupid facts. Yogurt eaters, this may upset you because I know you're all healthy and that kind of stuff. Some yogurt contains beef or pork gelatin. I didn't put it there. The Swiss eat the most chocolate, followed by the English. In 15th century France, chocolate could only be eaten by members of the royal court. That's right. Many mass-produced ice creams have seaweed in them. Check your ingredients, people. Because there might be seaweed. The average American will eat the equivalent of 28 pigs in their lifetime. Think about it. If you're an average American, you'll eat 28 pigs in your lifetime, or the equal of 28 pigs. Bacon, ham, pork chops, ribs, you name it. One last one for you. Pescatarians are vegetarians who eat fish. Just so you know. That's all my time. If you watch on Facebook, hit the share button. Share me with your friends. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. You'll get every episode. Till next week, I'm Rick Blood. This is Unfiltered. Peace.